With the way the season of the Golden State Warriors is turning out to be a Mexican teledrama, because of all the on and off the court issues that they're dealing with, I can't help myself but to pity the lead actor who's basically squeezed in between all of this, which is Steph Curry. I mean, it doesn't need a wise man to tell how deplorable and unpredictable this season has been for the boys of Bay Area. There's the aging legs and injuries, the needless technical fouls being handed like free coupons every night, the soul-crushing blowout losses, and problems with their current boss and his questionable coaching decisions. I get that it's not going to always be rainbows and butterflies each and every night in the NBA, but after how things unfold for the Dubs this last season and the dire situation that they're in right now, Steph must be saying to himself like, man, what the hell am I supposed to do? Steph is no doubt one of the most dedicated professional athletes in the realm of sports today. We've seen him going to court 3 to 4 hours before tip-off, night in and night out, doing individual training drills and shoot-around so that, come game time, he'll be as sharp and lethal as an obsidian knife. But despite putting in the work and playing at a high level each and every game, everything that he's building on would often just go down the water pipes in a flash, cause silly things like this happen under his watch.
And a technical free throw. Draymond's got to be careful here. Yeah. You're already down Kuminga. Well, Steph got 1T early. Steve just took a timeout. Yeah. And you want
a few moments later.
Got to watch out. He's letting them hear it. The officials are kind of letting him speak.
I mean, in a crucial game where the Warriors are battling for their playoff lives, Draymond once again got himself thrown out in just a little bit over 4 minutes during the first quarter of their matchup against the Magic. And what comes after that really shows the emotional damage it has done to Steph.
So we're even at 6, but a lot has already happened with 8:24 remaining in the first. So
out of sheer frustration at what just happened, Steph buried his face underneath his jersey and bawled out like a little kid after getting bullied at school. I mean, all kidding aside though, those are tears shed by a grown man caring for his brother who has lost his way. We've seen how Draymond Green turned into a UFC fighter overnight when he put Rudy Gobert on a chokehold before knocking out Yusuf Nurkic with a blinding right hook a few nights later. Draymond eventually got punished for it by going to detention for 12 days, but after reporting from the principal's office and learning his lesson, we thought he's already changed man. But as you saw in the clip, he abused the refs verbally, and now we're back at square one. If I'm in Steph's situation, I would have cried a river too, cause everyone knows how important Draymond is for the Dubs and to their championship cause. But from the way I'm seeing things, Draymond's ego is bigger than that, and he's willing to throw it all out the window simply because he can't handle his emotions. Luckily, because of Steph's heroics in the late game, the Dubs were able to pull off the win that night. However, in the following game, Draymond was caught in a familiar situation yet again, where Grant Williams tried to lit a fire under him, and as you can see, his reflexes literally kicked in as he almost hit him in the Yambag region. For someone that has a well-documented history of kicking people in the nuts, the good thing though is that the incident didn't escalate to anything, and the ref didn't see the inadvertent low blow. But see, if that kick just got a little inch higher, I believe Draymond will be sent to Adam Silver's office yet again. But this time around, I'll bet with my life that he'll possibly be suspended for the rest of the season. Now, not only is Draymond causing some major headaches for Steph, because Klay is also contributing to Steph's list of things to worry about by bricking his shots and firing blanks all season long.
Somehow gets it to Steph behind the back to Klay. Another three. A lot of turnovers, it feels like. Williams.
I mean, this man once set a record of scoring 33 points in a freaking quarter. But now it's a totally different story, as Klay can't hit the bottom of the net, but rather the gust of cold air filling the arena. Klay was supposed to be the guy, who's going to back up Steph whenever he's having an off night. But what are you supposed to do if your splash brother is having more off nights than you do? Well, no worries on this one, because you can always go for the fix with Andrew Wiggins. You know, the same guy that goes by the name of Two-Way Wiggs and Maple Jordan. But the bad news though is that he's playing like a maple syrup rather than Maple Jordan, with how slippery and messy his performance this season thus far is. In the first 10 games of the season, Wiggins was just averaging 11 points a ball game on 16.7% shooting from 3 and 52.9% from the foul line. See, while Steph is jacking up parking lot threes and delivering night-night to teams who tasted his wrath, Wiggins was playing like he's already washed at just 29 years old and showing signs of real regression at this stage of his career. Then, on top of this, he's also missed a couple of games due to personal family matters, and while I'm not against that, his absence has certainly cost the Dubs some games because, just like Draymond, Wiggs is also an important piece of the puzzle, which makes it doubly hard for Steph because he'll most likely fill in his shoes during nights where he's missing in action. Anyway, the sad story didn't stop there, because aside from having a personal problem, the Dubs also have a coaching crisis. I mean, Steve Kerr is one of the best tacticians out there of all time, hands down. But this season, there are times where his decision making is in question, like the time when he benched Steph in the entire fourth quarter against Indiana just some few weeks ago. That game ended in a loss for the Warriors. And what's even more puzzling is that this was a crucial game for the Dubs, as they were desperate for wins because they're battling for position in the play-in tournament. And who would forget the time when Jonathan Kuminga knocked on Steve Kerr's office, telling him that he has lost faith in him because he was not sparing him even an ounce of playing time. I mean, I'm really glad that JK took it upon himself to go straight to the man and demand his well-deserved minutes, because we've seen the positive results of his mini rebellion. Since the moment Kuminga raised his concern, Kerr has played him often, and so far, JK is maximizing the minutes that's been given to him. So much so that he became unleashed this season and is now second in command right behind Steph in the Dubs pecking order. And as if his teammates and his coach are not enough problems to deal with, the referees are also launching their personal vendetta against Steph Curry this season by having calls so absurd that it would entice Tim Donaghy to suit up as a ref again.
Curry chased by Springer.
Count is successful. Philadelphia's charged a timeout.
I mean, the refs would always sink to new lows in finding ways to screw Steph time and time again. And as we all know, this thing has been going on for years now, but it just has been more highlighted this season. Now, despite all the problems that he has to deal with, Steph still laces up his sneakers the same way and just gets down to business when the opening buzzer sounds off. I mean, to simply put, this is just what GOAT players do. No matter how loud noises are in the background, great players like Steph would just absorb all this and just give their all inside the court and just flat out hoop. 'Cause winning is still the most important thing at the end of the day. Anyway, if you're Steph, how are you going to handle all the adversities that you're facing? And what's your take on the current situation of the Warriors right now? As always, let me know your thoughts on this by putting your comments below. And once again, see you in the next video.